Welcome back to another park review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing one of the smallest amusement parks in the United States, located about 5 minutes from Knott's Berry Farm and 10 minutes from Disneyland. This is Adventure City in Anaheim, California. This was the fourth park I visited while I was in California, and the one I spent the least amount of time in. Let's just get into what this place pretty much is. Think of it like a community gathering with picnic tables, office buildings to the side, houses around the area, and an amusement park smack dab in the middle. That's Adventure City for you. Adventure City is the weirdest location for a park I've ever seen. And don't get me started on that parking lot. Dude, Adventure City's parking lot is one of the weirdest parking lots in California, which is something I've been noticing while making these, but this one has got to be the weirdest of them all. Okay, so you drive up to this weird-looking office-styled building. You drive in, and on the right side of the parking lot, it's just lined with offices and small businesses. And to the left, there's this wall covered with moss, which is Adventure City. If you want to enter the park correctly, park on the left side of the parking lot closest to the mossy wall. Then you walk up to this small picnic area with a bunch of tables, and there were a bunch of people sitting there eating lunch and everything. And then you take a left, and then boom, there's just an amusement park right there. It's such a weird placement for a park that when I pulled up into the parking lot, I thought we pulled into the wrong place and that one of the offices was named Adventure City. But nope, it was just around the corner, so keep note of that. You just can't see the entrance unless you park in the park's actual parking lot, which I didn't do, so this might not apply to you. Nonetheless, it's one of the oddest placements for an amusement park I've ever seen. It's just located on the side of a road with a bunch of office spaces and houses surrounding it. So it just looks as if it's a private place, but it isn't. So then you have to walk up to this picnic area and take a left, and you'll find the entrance to Adventure City. The park's admission is about $20, so this will be a good park to spend a couple hours at to kill time, which is what I did before I went to Knott's Berry Farm. The only reason I came to this park was because Knott's didn't open for another hour, and it was a 5-minute drive from Knott's Berry Farm, and I needed the coaster credits, so I just came here. Speaking of coaster credits, this park has 2 of them. They have an E&F Miler kiddie coaster named Freeway Coaster, which you don't need to get to ride, so I got very lucky there. And it sends you around twice, which is a nightmare. And let me say, that was probably the most aggressive kiddie coaster I've ever done, even over Timberline Twister. And they also have one other coaster, which is why most enthusiasts know about this place, and indeed how I found out about this place. Their Gerstlauer shuttle family coaster named Rewind Racers. Rewind Racers was actually pretty good for a family coaster. Sure, it wasn't anything to rave about, but you know, it was what it was, and it was a great addition for that park. I was actually the first person of the day to ride Rewind Racers, and I got to ride it in the front row, and it was a great ride. But just note that Rewind Racers tends to open about an hour after the park does, so I almost missed that credit, because funny story, while we were driving over there, the car's tire pressure was low, so we spent about 30 minutes fixing that. So then we got there about 50 minutes after the park opened when I was planning to get there at opening. So I got lucky because I wasn't going to be in there for an hour, so I did get to ride Rewind Racers. This park also does have quite a bit of kid rides because, you know, this is a family park, so they have to have some kiddie rides. They have a train that goes around the whole park, but I didn't get to ride it. They also have a sun-themed kiddie Ferris wheel. They have a pretty neat looking drop tower. This park also has a balloon ride. They have an antique carousel. Oh, and they have this kid-powered train ride where the kids pedal these trains throughout the whole ride. It's so quirky. And they even have a petting zoo with animals and everything. It's so cool. But you know, it is a petting zoo, so I was not all that crazy about walking around that area of the park, but you can't really avoid it because it's on the one pathway to get to Rewind Racers, so close your nose on the way over there. This park also holds birthday parties inside of this giant tree, which I don't know what to think about that, but the outside of the tree looked awesome. Now, I didn't have any of the food at this park because I didn't have enough time and I had to get to Knott's Berry Farm, but I assume it's like normal theme park food. Also, I didn't get to see any of their merchandise, so I can't talk about that either. And this park, I'm pretty sure, doesn't have any shows, so I can't talk a whole lot about that. And just in general, I can't really say too much about this park because I was only here for 30 minutes just so I can get the credits. So I can't really say much about this park, but I love just walking around and taking everything in. For a family park, it was pretty nice. But one thing I can talk about, and the last thing that I will say about this park, are their employees. The employees here are pretty nice. I didn't have any problems with them. They were just very nice to me, so I think that enhanced my overall experience. So for my final thoughts, I'd say try and visit this park, but only if you have time, and if you're driving between like Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm or something, don't go out of your way to try and visit this place. Only visit it if you have time. But nonetheless, I'm glad I got an opportunity to visit this place, and I liked it. But I probably won't be coming back anytime soon unless they got some amazing new roller coaster. But that's just how I feel about Adventure City in Anaheim, California. Let me know your thoughts about this place in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.